Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the April energy forecast. This is going to be a fun one. I don't know about you, but I have been feeling the shift in energy. You know, it's interesting. We were actually talking in our Soul Empowered community today at our meetup about the energy. And March was, it was a big month for so many of us. If you felt it, you know. The energy was, well, I believe what they said from the records was catalyst energy. And I really felt that, but there was a heaviness to it. And I know for me personally, I worked through, and I'm still kind of working through some deeper trauma around money, a lot of money wounds that were showing up for me. And I'm starting to get a better handle on the intensity of the energy that was showing up to be transmuted, right? Like that's really the continual invitation for you, is when it gets really hard, when it gets really difficult, when it feels like things aren't getting better, the invitation is to sit with, be with, process, move through, hold, create safety for the energy that is showing up, right? That is the process of expansion. And March definitely brought that energy up. It was big energy and it felt very heavy at times. And I'm very excited to tell you that April is meant to be a different month. I mean, it is a different month, but energetically, it is going to feel like a different month. And especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you might already be feeling the effects of spring coming in. But even if you're not, just looking at the lunar calendar, right? We just had our spring equinox. There is more of a freshness to the energy. There is a lighter energy. Even if it might not be spring as the season that you're in, there is still a lightness to what we are starting to experience. And so I'm really excited to share with you some of the themes that are going to be coming up this month. The first theme is mass energetic clearing. So just as I was saying, March was a hard month for so many of us. In April, we are meant to experience more of a cleansing of this energy, more of a release, a shifting, a clearing of this energy. And so there's a couple things here. If you have been doing the work, if you have been looking at the pieces that are showing up, you're going to be pretty good here. And you're going to start to notice things happen a lot quicker. If you have been resisting what has been showing up, and that's okay, right? Sometimes we go through phases where we're not ready to look at the thing, or we're not ready to hold it, or work with it, or don't really know how. If that's been the case for you and March was a really hard month and you didn't really dig into some of the pieces, you will be invited to continue to dig in to what you haven't dug into yet. Because April is meant to be a clearing, a release, a shifting, an opening. And so two things that you can be doing in regards to this to really support your energy. One, regulating your nervous system. Because when our nervous system is grounded and rooted and regulated, we're more open to receive. So regulating your nervous system and grounding your energy. Because this is almost like takeoff energy. They're giving me a visual of like a rocket taking off into expansion. And it's interesting because something that's been coming through a lot in readings from the records is this piece around, just like bears hibernate before spring, our souls hibernate before expansion. And we have been going through a lot of hibernation on a soul level. April is meant to be an expansion month, so embrace it. The second theme, this is a fun one, the power of 3. What do they mean by this? This can show up in a few different ways. Noticing if you're seeing something show up 3 times, that can be a direct sign or message from spirit, from the divine, saying, pay attention to this. If something is showing up 3 times, that could also be your intuition trying to get your attention to act on that thing or do that thing. Hard things might also show up 3 times. And what came through from the records was the saying, three's the charm. Sometimes we actually have to see something 3 times or experience something 3 times to be able to see that it's a pattern. And so if you're noticing things showing up in 3s, that is right away a direct sign. Either it's something you are receiving that needs to be seen and understood and sometimes acted on, or it's something that you should be digging into because there is a pattern at play there. Okay, the third theme is one thing after another. What I have been shown, which is a little bit different than what I received from the records, because things don't really happen in a linear way. That's the ego, that's the mind that likes to make sense of things and control how things are organized. But truly, what you might notice this month is that things are happening one after another. There is this feeling of sequential ordering, of things happening really quickly. And it becomes your job to really practice. One, this is why grounding your energy is so important, because the more grounded your energy is, the clearer you will be able to see the things showing up and know how to act on them. Because truly, the sequential piece, you're going to receive different pieces. And as you are acting on them, this reciprocal energy will then bring in the next piece. So again, grounding the energy so that you can receive and then act on the next piece. Because the more you are doing that, the more in flow you will be with spirit, the more things will happen in a sequential and really quick way. The energy of April is quick, it is fast, not in a dysregulating way for the nervous system. I mean, it could be if you're not grounding your energy and regulating your nervous system. But the energy is meant to be quick and fast for April, especially since so many of us have been doing the work and digging in and doing the heavy lifting and clearing the heavier stuff within us. And things can happen faster when our channel is clear. So one thing after another. Okay, this is a really cool piece. The fourth and final theme is notice what is dropping in. What do they mean by that? Often our signs, our messages, our nudges, the next pieces, the breadcrumbs drop in. They drop into our awareness. They drop into our heart space. They drop into the body, right? And this is where we have greater clarity of the things that we're supposed to do next, or the things we're supposed to be doing in the here and now. So notice what is dropping in. Often it will be a really quick feeling or knowing or sense of something. And this is where it becomes your job to either write that down, so start to keep a list of the things dropping in, or act on those pieces. And don't wait too long. It doesn't mean that you have to be rushed in how fast you act on things, but there should be some reciprocal energy in exchange of what you are receiving. This will show the universe you're ready for each next step. So notice the things that are dropping in, maybe write them down. Keep something that I like to do in my phone is keep in my notes lots of different things I'm receiving or ideas I have or channel pieces or all of that. My notes section in my phone is very big. And so that can be something that you do. You could keep it in your phone, you could write it down, but either way, notice what is dropping in and do not be too hesitant in acting on it. 1, this is your soul leading the way. And 2, this is showing spirit, this is showing the universe that you are ready and you are stepping into more of a reciprocal relationship with the universe, and the universe loves this. Okay, we're gonna pull some cards just to get some further clarity on some of the themes for the month, things you can be thinking about, tools, support. That one wanted to fall out. And just so you know, I'm using my Chakra Oracle deck. It's a really cool one. It's one of my favorites. So I'll pull a few cards and then see what channeled guidance wants to come through. Yeah, and just as I'm doing this too, just another reminder, regulating your nervous system is so important when it comes to receiving signs and messages and nudges and knowing what is true for you. The more you can be regulating your nervous system, the more clear your channel will be, and the greater you will be able to discern what is for you. Okay. So we have got the renewal card that came up. It came up reversed. I'm going to talk about that. The mysticism card came up. and the service card. And the service card came up also reversed. So there is a piece here. It's actually showing me a little bit of a journey with the 3 cards. Renewal, I'm actually getting the sense that some of you are hesitant in this renewal that you are moving through. So the invitation here is to get curious with any resistance that might be showing up in this expansion phase, right? Because there will always be parts of us that fear expansion because it's the unknown, because there is uncertainty there. This doesn't mean we don't expand. It means that we learn how to hold space for the parts of us that have these fears, and we continue to be the guide within ourselves that we need into our expansion. And so really letting yourself step more into this renewal, but doing it in a safe way. Red represents the root chakra. So you could be having fears around scarcity, money blocks, safety, security, not feeling safe in your expansion. Maybe there's a lot of unknowns or a risk you need to take, an unknown into this next step. It doesn't mean you don't expand. It means that you hold space for the fears and how unsafe it might feel for parts of you, not all of you, right? Your soul knows the way. Hold space for it and figure out what you need to do to continue to expand in a slow and steady way. And notice another theme that continues to show up, the grounding. Earth, grounding into the earth, grounding into nature will allow you to feel that solid foundation under you as you continue to expand. The next piece here is mysticism. So purple represents our third eye chakra. The next card is mysticism. Purple represents our third eye chakra. It represents our intuitive knowing. It represents our deeper wisdom, right? And just like you are stepping into this expansion, you need to be connected to your intuition in order to be able to explore it more, in order to be able to trust yourself, in order to feel the connection with spirit, the divine, so you can trust the path forward. So there is a big invitation this month to nurture your intuitive gifts, to nurture your intuitive connection, to be spending time each day tapping into what your intuition is telling you. And this actually makes so much sense, because if we go back to the guidance, noticing what's dropping in, that was one that came through, but there is this focus on being aware of the messages and the signs and what feels true to you and what feels right to you, and following the breadcrumbs. We can only do this when we are connected to our intuitive knowing, when we are connected to our wisdom, our inner wisdom. So making this a priority this month is so important, because the more connected and clear your channel is, and the deeper trust you have in yourself and your intuition and in spirit, the easier it becomes to trust the process and walk the path. The last piece here is, and this is important, the service card, and it was reversed. So orange represents our sacral. It represents creativity. It represents feeling our emotions, being aware of our emotions, emotional mastery and discipline. It was reversed. So this tells me that for some of you, there's going to be a block here in maybe fearing stepping onto your path because it makes you feel selfish. Or what does that mean? Am I a bad person? I'm not putting other people's needs first anymore. I'm making my needs a priority. These stories around self-sacrifice and self-sabotage and self-abandonment. And this is where you need to get clearer with that these stories are not true, but they are showing up as aspects of yourself that need to feel safer to expand into this piece, right? Just because you are making your needs, your desires, your dreams a priority, that does not make you selfish. And the reminder here is, the more you step into your dreams, the more you follow the path of uncertainty from a place of trust, this not only shows others that they get to do this also, but your energy begins to lead the way for others. And so the invitation here as well this month is to notice if you have any of those stories showing up. Self-sacrifice, self-abandonment, self-betrayal, right? and really allowing yourself to deepen into trust that you're being led on this path. And where you're being led, it doesn't make you selfish for following that. It allows you to expand and become a greater version of yourself, not just for you, but others as well. And so trust your path, trust yourself, allow yourself to continue to expand. Okay, my friends, that is the Akashic Records April energy forecast. I'm so happy that you could receive this. I'm so happy that you're here. Please share this with others that you feel like it could help. And if you're looking for deeper support on your journey, I offer lots of different pieces. I have my Soul Empowered membership. This is live weekly meetups where you receive channeled guidance from the records, one-to-one support with me. You also receive my library of guided meditations, my online teachings, and our online community of beautiful souls that are connecting and finding support and love with each other. So there's our SEM, Soul Empowered membership. I also have one-to-one soul coaching if you're wanting to dive deeper, transform your life, work through resistance and blocks, build your intuitive gifts, whatever it is that you desire, we dive deep to figure out how to help you receive that. I also have my one-to-one readings, my soul readings in the Akashic Records, as well as my intuitive guidance sessions with Spirit. And keep your eyes out because I'm getting ready to launch a very special workshop for April. I'm going to be launching it and it's going to be in a couple weeks. And it is all around helping you trust in the process. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day and I will see you next month.